Evening and welcome to our ceremony where we have the privilege to honor and recognize exceptional staff from our schools and from across our system. My name is Jeff Marr and it is my pleasure to MC tonight's event. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you to all of our staff, families, and community members who have come together to celebrate. We are glad that you can be with us as we highlight the exceptional people in our school system. We are joined by many people who have come to also applaud our staff. Please stand as I introduce you. Members of the Board of Education, Ms. Kathy Allen, Vice Chair. Ms. Mary Washington, Member. Ms. Rita Weaver, Member of the Board of Education. And of course, Dr. Scott Smith, Superintendent. Our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Maureen Montgomery. Assistant Superintendent of Finance, Ms. Tammy McCourt. Chief of Staff, Dr. Dale Farrell. Chief of Equity Engagement and Early Access, Dr. Kelly Hall. And Chief of Safety and Security, Mr. Mike Wyatt. We're also joined by several of our directors. Director of Operations, Mr. Ashley Varner. Director of Maintenance, Mr. Steve Whidden. And Director of Special Education, Mr. Scott Serbiak. And I think I got all of the directors. So I also want to thank all of our principals, assistant principals, and supervisors who have joined us. Would you please stand? Thank you for coming to support your staff. And I also want to thank members of our associations. From ESMIC, the UNISERV Director, Ms. Liz Purcell-Leskinen, and the President of ESMIC, Ms. Sarah Penrod. From SMASA, we have the Vice President, Mr. Mike Egan, also Principal of the Forrest Center. I also want to give a special thank you to Mr. Perner and the staff here at Chopticon High School for hosting this evening's event. And additionally, tonight's event is being live streamed on our website, and I'd like to thank our team in the Office of Strategic Planning and Communications for making this possible. Let's give them a round of applause. As I said, tonight is a night where we recognize our outstanding educators and support staff who represent the very best of those serving our students. The well-known national educator, Rita Pierson, said, "Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the very best that they can possibly be. You are that champion. You make the connections that are so vital as students returned this year. You help them to be the very best they can be." As you were coming in today, quotes about tonight's nominees were on the screen. These words by students, parents, and colleagues capture the difference you make every day. Tonight, we recognize all of our outstanding staff, those who serve in classrooms, offices, hallways, cafeterias. Each one of you plays a vital role in educating our students. Each one of you and your colleagues you represent were there for our students when they needed you most. This year was especially challenging as we reopened our doors and students reacclimated to the daily routines and expectations of learning. Your dedication and commitment to our students is appreciated beyond words. Tonight, as we celebrate our exceptional staff, we shine the light on all those who work in our public schools. Thank you for what you do every day. Now, to kick off tonight's recognitions, I invite Ms. Kathy Allen, Vice Chair of the Board of Education, to bring greetings.
I'm a little shorter than he is. I bring greetings from the Board of Education and also from our board chair, Mrs. Karen Bailey. She apologizes for not being here this evening, but her daughter is a Chopticon High senior, and she is with the Lady Braves playing in a softball game. Tonight is senior night, and so I'm sure you can understand that Mrs. Bailey has the parent hat on this evening. We are here this evening to recognize and to celebrate a group of truly remarkable individuals. Without a doubt, the last 2 years have been some of the most challenging and difficult in anyone's memory. Stress, fear, frustration, exasperation, the words describing the experience don't seem to fully capture what happened and to some extent continue even now. While we saw and experienced all those feelings as a board, shared through emails, social media, and conversations with staff, parents, students, and community members, we also saw something else: strength, drive, creativity, caring, understanding, and empathy. SMCPS staff at all levels pitched in, brainstormed, shared information, celebrated successes, and commiserated over failures, while vowing to continue. Some years ago, a new employee expressed surprise to me after watching maintenance employees move heaven and earth to quickly address an issue that in any other place would have taken weeks or months to fix. He didn't understand why there was such a significant difference in response. I explained that our staff feel more like a family to me. When family needs help, someone in the family steps up. Throughout this pandemic experience, we have watched as family stepped up in all kinds of ways. Our students are fortunate to have such a caring, extended family to teach them, feed them, care for them, and to simply be there for them. Great Mills principal, Dr. Jay Keibel, often does what I call a call and response with his students. He says, "We are," and with great enthusiasm, the students respond, "Great Mills." I think all of you have demonstrated clearly over many more years than just the last 2 that we are SMCPS strong. On behalf of the Board of Education, we thank you for your work. On behalf of our students, words cannot convey how grateful we are that all of you have chosen to share your considerable talents with students and with your colleagues to positively impact the lives of our students. Each of you makes SMCPS stronger, and the board thanks all of you for that.
Thank you, Mrs. Allen. Our recognitions of our staff are a reflection of the incredible individuals who work with our students and in our schools and offices every day. And how appropriate that we hold this event during Teacher Appreciation Week, where we can recognize our amazing educators. This week, we also highlighted National Principals Day in recognition of outstanding leaders in our schools. In supporting these employees, we have great partnerships with our education associations. And with that in mind, I would like to invite Ms. Sarah Penrod, President of ESMIC, and Mr. Mike Egan, Vice President of SMASA, to come forward. They will each be sharing a few words, but before they do, we want to present this resolution on behalf of the Superintendent and Board of Education in recognition of Teacher Appreciation Week. And Dr. Smith will present that proclamation.
Oh, come on up. We're going to read the proclamation. You need to be right here. All right, this is a little, all right. Are we ready to be proclaimed? Are you ready to be proclaimed? All right. Whereas the staff of St. Mary's County Public Schools takes great pride in delivering exceptional instruction to almost 18,000 students, and whereas teachers, support staff, and administrators all play a vital role in expanding students' minds to ideas, knowledge, and dreams for the future. And whereas teachers keep American democracy alive by laying the foundation for good citizenship. And whereas educators mold students of diverse backgrounds to become productive citizens who will shape the future of our great country. And whereas education support professionals contribute in various ways to the success of students, teachers, and the community. And whereas administrators work diligently to help students and teachers excel, and their leadership and hard work are essential to the success of our schools and communities. And whereas support staff, teachers, and administrators are exceptionally dedicated and committed to providing high-quality educational opportunities to our students, now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of St. Mary's County recognizes the week of May 2nd through the 6th, 2022, as Teacher Appreciation Week and urges all citizens of St. Mary's County to take the time to honor those who help to make our school system great. And it's signed by the members of the Board of Education. And I have Teacher Appreciation. I have one for each one of you. One for each one of you. And I believe prepared remarks?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Then I shall step aside.
All right. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of ESMIC, I wish to congratulate every single one of our educators. It is definitely not a coincidence that we are here during Teacher Appreciation Week. And teachers in the crowd, you are the rock stars of your profession. After the last 2 years of just walking into the building every single day and not sure what you're going to get each day, I mean, you have made it almost through the whole year, and your students have excelled beyond our expectations. But I also want to remind everyone that at being Teacher Appreciation Week, that name, it's problematic, because to run a school, we don't just need teachers and we don't just need principals. We need education support professionals. Our building service workers, some are here in this auditorium right now. They clean our classrooms so that we walk in every single morning ready to go. Our food service workers, they feed all of our students so their bellies are full and they're prepared to learn and can focus. Our secretaries, what do they not do? They do everything. It's these people that work together with teachers and administrators to run the schools. And I want to make sure that all of you are recognized as well during Teacher Appreciation Week. So congratulations to everyone, from the superintendent to, I don't want to call the cockroaches in the schools because we don't have any, but every single person in this building deserves, including the families that have supported your educator spouses as well. So thank you very much, and good luck for the rest of the school year.
I'm a little taller, so I'm going to move that up a little. So on behalf of Dr. Alex Jaffers, who's our SMASA president, it's an honor to be here this evening, to have an opportunity to speak to the folks in this room tonight. As the principal at the Forest Center, we try to foster a growth mindset, and we try to teach our students to have grit. Well, everybody in this room tonight exemplifies that. Everybody here did not accept excuses. When things got tough, you rolled up your sleeves and you got to work. And you all understood that the only failure is to stop trying and to stop working on behalf of our students. So we're very proud of all of you. You all exemplify the best of what St. Mary's County has to offer. And while this evening is a wonderful evening, we could never thank you enough for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Penrod and Mr. Egan and Dr. Smith. Tonight, we recognize our staff members who have gone above and beyond. For this evening's program, we celebrate our teachers, leaders, support staff from all across the system. Each school and office has nominated individuals, and we honor them this evening. These nominees from each site include the school's nominee for Outstanding Educator, Education Support Professional of the Year, as well as Principal of the Year or Leader of Excellence. For our Educational Support Professional and Outstanding Educator, a list was narrowed down to finalists for each category. They're indicated in your program, and we will recognize them also at the time that their school recipients are called. In addition, some schools have a teacher recognized by SMECO as an outstanding educator, for which they received an award at a ceremony sponsored by SMECO this past week. Throughout the program, we will have remarks from our winners of our county-wide awards who are selected from the nominees to represent St. Mary's County Public Schools. Our first speaker is the recipient of the Washington Post Principal of the Year, Ms. Jamie Jameson, principal of Evergreen Elementary School. As Ms. Jameson comes to the podium, let me introduce her with a short video.
Thank you. It is an honor to accept this award in the company of so many tremendous educators. I began my career at Benjamin Banneker Elementary School under the direction of the legendary Linda Dutterer. She hired me 2 days before the start of the new teacher orientation, and she has left a profound impact on my life. I am proud to be part of her legacy. One of the things that I remember about Linda is that she could identify things in people even before they knew they owned it themselves. She did that for me, and I will forever remember the Dutterer family and the generosity that they showed me. Along the way in my career path, I was mentored by some fantastic SMCPS leaders, including Kim Summers, Denise Eichel, and Beth Ramsey. I owe so much to each of you. During this Teacher Appreciation Week, I'd also like to give a shout out to all of the SMCPS teachers, and especially my Evergreen family. You guys really do come together to make this system work. Along with me tonight are members of my family. I certainly would like to recognize them. My husband, Paul, and our children. Thank you guys for coming tonight. I'm wearing a necklace that was gifted to me by two really important people at Evergreen. And the inscription on the necklace reads, "You are enough." And the message I'd like to share tonight is for the ears of anyone who has ever wondered, am I enough? Our world tells us that the pursuit of success will determine a person's value. I disagree. Your value has little to do with how we commonly measure success. Value is not based on popularity, the number of followers you have on Instagram, or how many subscribers you have on your YouTube channel. Value isn't based on your ability to please others. You will never please everyone. Value is not measured by the amount of money you make. Find work that you love and do it well. And while value is not based on the color of our skin, and while it is wonderful to be showered with awards and accolades, value isn't based on the size of the trophy. Each of us has been endowed with special gifts, unique and valuable talents. If you want to know if you are enough, I ask you, do you give? Do you give generously? Measure your value by the generosity with which you share your gifts. I'd like to conclude by recognizing just a couple more people. Dr. Smith and Dr. Montgomery, the health of our organization is a direct reflection of your shared leadership and your willingness to give wholeheartedly to our students and all of the people that support them. I'm proud to be part of St. Mary's County Public Schools. And finally, I'd like to thank my parents. My mom is no longer with us, and if he was able to connect, my dad is watching from home. They taught me what was most important. For that, I am eternally grateful. And they have always told me that I am enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Jameson. That was beautiful. Now we will begin by recognizing our school nominees for each of the recognitions. And as we begin, we will begin with the elementary schools, and we'll do so in alphabetical order by school. To help move things along, we ask that each school move to my right as the previous group is being called to prepare to be called forward with their nominees. We invite the school principal or assistant principal to also join on stage to my left. Those being recognized will come to the stairs. They will come across the stage. The board members will be standing here to shake your hand. Dr. Smith will give you your award, and then you will pause with your school team for a photo before exiting stage left. So don't worry, you'll get the hang of it. Once the first couple of schools go, you'll see exactly what to do. So we're going to get started and put all the pressure on Banneker to go first. So we're going to start with Benjamin Banneker, which will be followed by Captain Walter Francis Duke, and so on, and proceed in alphabetical order as noted in your program. So please hold your applause until the school comes forward and is called. So we're going to give them a chance to sort of queue up here to be ready. And I will put my glasses on so I can be sure I read things properly. Okay, so from Benjamin Banneker, our outstanding educator is Mr. Michael Soley, also a finalist. His students wrote of Mr. Soley, "I like the way he teaches. He doesn't just tell us things. It makes you want to come to school every day because something fun will happen with his funny voices and animation." Our Education Support Professional of the Year is Carrie Vance. Her administrator says her style is consistent, patient, and caring. No matter what her students throw her way, she follows the plan and works diligently for safety and student growth. Give a hand to Benjamin Banneker. From Captain Walter Francis Duke Elementary School, our outstanding educator is Miss Kimberly Gray. In nominating her, her colleague wrote of her, "She pushes me to improve my instruction and is always an inspiration and support. She continues to make teaching fun, and her students adore her." Our Educational Support Professional of the Year is Roy Maddox. In nominating Mr. Maddox, his supervisor shared that during my visits to Captain Walter Francis Duke, numerous staff members have taken the time to stop me in the hall to express their appreciation for him. They share that he greets them with a smile each day and offers to assist in any way he can and takes great pride in his work. Let's give a hand to Captain Walter Francis Duke. From the Chesapeake Public Charter School, their outstanding educator is April Skinner. Her fellow teachers highlighted the effect of integration of arts and sciences and and math project-based lessons, including producing puppet shows, beatboxing fractions, and transforming the school chickens into a clucky business planning opportunity. Their educational support professional is Melissa Angay. The staff members told us she doesn't want us to do just a great job. She wants us to excel. She's willing to put in the work and is prepared for all situations, and she does it with a smile. They have a SMECO STEM Teacher of the Year, Jessica Sage. Jessica's paraeducator wrote, "Miss Sage is highly creative in her class lessons. I think she finds just the right balance between current events and children's interests to create unique activities that captivate and connect with students." Let's applaud Chesapeake Charter School. From Dinard Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Crystal Johnston, also a finalist. Her administrator shared that Mrs. Johnston empowers students to take on leadership roles and takes the time to mentor at-risk students while creating an environment where kids feel safe to take risks and are passionate about their learning. Their education support professional, Jennifer Griffith. Jennifer's principal highlighted her dedication is unparalleled, and it is evident by her energy and enthusiasm, and she loves the students and staff at Dinard Elementary. Let's give them a round of applause. From Evergreen Elementary School, you just met Miss Jamie Jameson, their leader of excellence. A teacher at Evergreen states, her passion and caring for all stakeholders, students, staff, and community members has a direct impact on the success of the school. She leads with passion, purpose, and pride. Their outstanding educator, Joe Amsbacher. A colleague of hers wrote, her approachability, knowledge of content, and skill make her an outstanding colleague to work with and a leader within our building. I have learned a great deal by watching her with her students. Their education support professional of the year is Diana Rivera. Her administrator shared, there's really no way to capture all of the incredible contributions that Ms. Rivera makes to the Evergreen community. I can only say that being in her presence is truly humbling. She makes all of us better people. Let's give a hand to Evergreen Elementary. From George Washington Carver Elementary School, and I'm not sure if any of them were able to come this evening, but Jamie Vickers, her principal shared that is the outstanding educator. Her principal shared that teachers in the school look to Miss Vickers as a model of providing individualized, compassionate classroom that instills morals, values, and academic learning. And their educational support professional of the year, Barbara Troche. A staff member said nominating her perspective is invaluable, and when they need to problem solve or brainstorm, she goes out of her way to make sure we know she's there to work with us and support our students. George Washington Carver. From Green Holly Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Miss Ella Lefton, also a finalist. And I don't believe she was able to join us, but her colleagues shared that Miss Lefton intentionally establishes meaningful relationships with students so they have confidence and develop a sense of belonging to the classroom and school community. Her students know she genuinely cares about them. Their education support professional of the year is Jamie Henson. Ms. Gerard said of her, because Jamie works diligently each day to meet the needs of each of her students, they all grow in their abilities, meeting and exceeding their individual goals. Let's give a hand to Green Holly. From Greenview Knolls Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Holly Sikorsky. One of her colleagues shared that she has mastered the art of being firm but fair, having rules, yet maintaining relationships and remembering that she is teaching children whom she freely offers love, acceptance, and grace. Their education support professional of the year is Deborah Copenhaver. A teacher wrote that she is a dynamic self-starter. When she sees a problem or concern, she researches it, comes up with a solution, and then goes for it. Their SMECO Outstanding Math Teacher of the Year is Kristen Sealer. A parent from last year wrote, we had the privilege of having her as our son's third grade teacher last year. This means she taught him virtually in a hybrid model, and I cannot imagine a more challenging time. She handled with such positivity and enthusiasm that the kids had no choice but to become enthusiastic themselves. Let's applaud Greenview Knolls. From Hollywood Elementary School, Their outstanding educator is Denise Rycraft. According to her principal, her students say, "I love learning." With a teacher like her, it's easy to see how students would develop a deep appreciation to know more, apply more, and grow more. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Sharon Page, also a finalist. When a parent wrote about the special care her child was given, she said, "This was not something that was expected nor asked of her. She did this because she cared. She has a kind heart and unwavering dedication to her students." Congratulations to Hollywood Elementary School staff. From Leonardtown Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Sona Powell. A colleague and a parent of a student in Miss Powell's class shared, "Her caring nature and love for teaching are evident in the smiles entering and exiting her classroom. My son is eager to see what new tricks she has to help him learn to read." Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Lorenzo Gross. An administrator said of Mr. Gross, "Anyone who has worked closely with him would tell you that he quietly and humbly goes about the day completing his daily tasks and helping staff members when needed, no questions asked." Congratulations to Leonardtown Elementary. From Letty Marshall Dent Elementary, and I'm not sure if they're here to receive it, but their assistant principal is here to accept on their behalf. Their leader of excellence is Miss Teresa Buckler. A teacher at her school says Miss Buckler has high expectations, but also recognizes that everyone is starting in a different place and may need scaffolds to reach their full potential. Their outstanding educator is Kimberly Edwards. Her colleagues shared how she builds relationships with her students so they can make her proud. And their Education Support Professional of the Year is Patricia Shoemaker. In nominating her, her colleagues told us, "Patty spreads positivity wherever she goes. Her positive attitude and outlook every day create a work environment for everyone." Congratulations to Letty Marshall Dent. From Lexington Park Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Holly Ridgel. In nominating her, Ms. Ridgel's principal says she is never too busy to listen to help a student, parent, or fellow teacher. She models exemplary teaching practices and provides support and encouragement in every aspect of her professional responsibilities. Their Educational Support Professional of the Year was Sarah Bryce, a finalist. Her administrator wrote, "When you see her immersed in her role, it is very clear that it is much more than a job for her. It is a calling. She cares deeply about her students that she works with on a daily basis and all of the family she supports in a myriad of ways." Congratulations to Lexington Park staff. From Mechanicsville Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Lindsay Simone, also a finalist. Her principal says of Miss Simone, she exhibits a calm confidence that makes its way to her students. She reminds them to have patience and work together, helping each other in a seamless way. They willingly work hard because it is fun and engaging. Their Educational Support Professional of the Year is Margaret Wiggin. A teacher in the building commented that her rapport with children is natural and instinctive. Even when faced with the most intensive academic and emotional needs, she finds a way to support them with patience and understanding. Congratulations to Mechanicsville Elementary. From Oakville Elementary, their outstanding educator is Brandon Gunn. A fellow teacher says Miss Gunn is an innovator with enthusiasm, love, and passion for teaching her students that is incredible. She radiates passion and zest for learning that is reflected in all of her students. Their Education Support Professional is Ashley Sigmund. As her principal stated, she is committed to a solution-oriented environment. Not once have I ever heard her say that a problem cannot be solved. She brings solutions to the table and remains flexible in working with administration and staff. Congratulations to Oakville staff. From Park Hall Elementary School, their outstanding educator is Miranda Berry. As a colleague said, Miss Barry captures the attention of her students, drawing them into conversations and making learning come alive for her students. They are emotionally invested in their individual success. Their Outstanding Educational Professional of the Year is Paul Fenwick, also a finalist. In nominating Mr. Fenwick, a staff member writes, "Mr. Fenwick is the best because he will quickly arrive to help with everything from a pencil shoved down a drain to a major spill to a loose snake with the same good-natured sense of humor that is the hallmark of someone who truly belongs and loves the elementary school environment." Congratulations to Park Hall. From Piney Point Elementary School, their Outstanding Educator and SMECO Science Teacher of the Year, Summer Wood. She is an educator committed to providing learning experiences of a high quality due to her concise focus and well-thought-out efforts in her planning and preparation of each lesson. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Jane Wirch. In nominating her, her administrator team said her self-motivation and positive attitude sets the tone not only for the office, but throughout the school as well. She is willing to go the extra mile and is flexible in her role, assisting the secretary to the principal and the office staff as necessary. Congratulations to Piney Point staff. From Ridge Elementary School, the Outstanding Educator is Jessica Deeney. Her fellow teacher says, "Ms. Deeney knows the names of all of her students who enter the Media Center. She takes the time to talk to them and get to know them over the years, developing relationships that students appreciate and respond to." Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Emily Waldron. Her principal commented that she is always flexible, approachable, efficient, and attentive to students, staff, and families' needs. Congratulations to Ridge Elementary staff. From Town Creek Elementary, their Outstanding Educator is Sarah Ellsworth. Her principal says of Ms. Ellsworth, she understands the individual needs of our students, encourages their talents, and fosters self-esteem through supportive and caring relationships she builds. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Tammy Ogle. A colleague points out that there is no task too large for Ms. Tammy. She works tirelessly and always has a positive demeanor to do what the school needs. She is someone who works behind the scenes, but without her, our school could not function. Congratulations to Town Creek staff. And from White Marsh Elementary School, their Outstanding Educator is Courtney Fustel. A parent of her past and present students said of her, "It is my belief that she provided each of them with a strong foundation for learning. Her enthusiasm and energy grew their curiosity, and they were excited to learn and question things." Their Education Support Professional is Diane Brawner. A staff member said that Ms. Brawner's sense of humor and calm demeanor are part of what makes her such a joy to have in the building. Her high standards truly make our building shine. She is one of a kind. Congratulations to the White Marsh staff. And congratulations to all of our elementary school nominees. Our next speaker is Mr. Paul Fenwick. He is St. Mary's County Public Schools Educational Support Professional of the Year. Mr. Fenwick is the building service manager at Park Hall Elementary School. As he comes forward, let's introduce him with this short video.
Thank you. Good evening. I want to start by saying thank you to SMCPS DSS, Department of Operations, Park Hall Elementary for selecting me as the Educational Support Person of the Year. I worked with some great staff and co-workers over the years at different schools I've worked at. I definitely want to say thank you to Mr. Dorenzo and Mr. Chilson for giving me the chance to show them what I can do. I'm grateful for that. They believe in me. That's good. At Park Hall, we work hard to make the school clean and orderly. Take pride in our school to make sure the building is ready for each day, staff and students. Again, I want to say thank you for this award and all the people that I work with. And if I forgot you, didn't say your name, thank you too.
Thank you, Mr. Fenwick, and congratulations. We will now begin to recognize our middle school nominees, and we will begin with Esperanza Middle School. From Esperanza Middle School, our outstanding educator is Angela Evans. Her administrator writes, "I consider Ms. Evans a key component in the success of our 8th grade students. She understands the needs of adolescents while continuing to hold them to appropriate standards for learning with calm respect and kindness." Their Education Support Professional of the Year is James Clemente. A colleague said, "We are confident he walks approximately 12 miles a day as he is the first to respond to most calls, eager to help in any way he can. There's no job too big or too small for Mr. Clemente." Congratulations to Esperanza Middle School staff. From Leonardtown Middle School, they had a Leader of Excellence nominee, Mr. Eric Engel Cope. His principal wrote that Mr. Engel Cope is a transformational young leader whose creative style continuously promotes the vision of Leonardtown Middle School, and his knowledge, skills, and passion make him an extremely efficient administrator. Their outstanding educator is Susan Parlett, also a finalist. Her administrative team says, "We are deeply moved that by Ms. Parlett's willingness and capacity to enthusiastically, thoughtfully, and creatively apply every iota of her energy to lead our school in the direction of positive educational and behavioral change." Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Brian Myers. The school administrators write, "Mr. Myers does an exceptional job of helping all of the gears behind the well-oiled machine continue to turn. Mr. Myers is highly effective at communicating with students, staff, and families, and always makes sure that appropriate records are kept." They had a SMECO Outstanding Science Teacher of the Year, Catherine Smith. One of Katie's students wrote, "You have made me excited to go to math class, which is rare, being that I usually don't like math, and I'm not good at math, but I really appreciate your understanding of those who can't comprehend everything at once, because you help us get there." Congratulations to Leonardtown Middle School staff. From Margaret Brent Middle School, their Leader of Excellence nominee was Glenna Edwards. A staff member at Margaret Brent said of her, "Ms. Edwards has a deep understanding of the importance of self-care and meeting the emotional needs of our students and staff. Her actions as a leader inspire others to want to do more and become more." Their outstanding educator is Tanya Holmes, also a finalist. Her administrator writes of her, "A truly special technique that Ms. Holmes utilizes is that she allows her students to lead the discovery of their misconceptions. Doing so allows students to feel comfortable in a safe space to explore their learning." Their Educational Support Professional of the Year is Kimberly Maiden. A teacher in her building shared, "Ms. Maiden is a dynamic educational support person. She is committed to student learning and helping others. She is highly dedicated to support professional who knows strategies and tools to support student learning." Congratulations to Margaret Brent staff. From Spring Ridge Middle School, their outstanding educator is Zachary Bush. His teammates commented, "Mr. Bush uses his background as a coach to connect with students and build a safe space that fosters academic risk and learning while maintaining rigorous expectations in his classroom." Their Educational Support Professional of the Year is Penelope Splain, also a finalist. As her supervisor said, her unparalleled professionalism, work ethic, and knowledge empower users to report any issue knowing that they will be handled professionally and resolved quickly. And their SMECO Science Teacher of the Year is Megan Soley. Megan's principal wrote of her, "She is a highly effective educator despite the challenges of these last several years. Hallmarks of her culture for learning are her positive and energetic presence in the classroom and her commitment to student-centered learning." Congratulations to Spring Ridge staff. Now we recognize two Teachers of the Year, and we're going to hear from our Washington Post Teacher of the Year first, and later in the program we will hear from our Maryland Teacher of the Year. Miss Lindsay Simone is a 4th grade teacher at Mechanicsville Elementary School. She is our 2022 Washington Post Teacher of the Year. Let's introduce her with a short video as she approaches the stage.
Hi, everyone. I told my husband, Kevin, that I wanted to open with a joke, and he said, "Lindsay, you don't need to be funny, witty, or intellectual. Just be yourself." Yeah. So after the initial sting, I decided that I still wanted Kevin's feedback, as speech writing, like teaching, cannot be done alone. His feedback, along with the feedback and support of my dear MES friends, has helped me feel confident enough to stand in front of you and share a message that I strongly believe in. I've been doing a lot of self-reflection over the past few weeks as I ask myself, why me? Why was I chosen for such an honor? If you've seen the movie Inside Out, then you know about core memories. Core memories shape who we are. They are memories of events that have impacted us so deeply that our behaviors and our general mindset can be attributed to these experiences. Now, full disclosure, I asked a good psychologist friend of mine if core memories are a real thing, and she informed me that memories and experiences shape us. I don't know about the whole Inside Out thing, though. But that's enough for me to roll with this, so here we go. I have a few core memories from teaching that I believe have helped shape me into the teacher that I am today. I would like to share them with you tonight. Each centers around the importance of feedback, teamwork, and collaboration. The first is from very early on in my teaching career when I was at my most vulnerable state. I had an observation, and to put it lightly, it was a disaster. I curled up into a ball that night, and I never wanted to look back. I remember every detail of that day, but thankfully the memory that stands out most is walking into the post-observation conference and being met with compassion by my observers. Their goal was for me to be successful and to help me move forward. This was evident in their words and actions. After all, when we are successful and feel empowered, our students achieve. My understanding of what it takes to be an effective teacher changed because of this experience. I realized that I didn't have all the answers and that I needed to be open to feedback in order to help my students achieve their potential. The next core memory is from the summer of 2020 at our first system-wide virtual meeting to learn about Schoology. This stuck with me because of the panic that set in and the fast and furious text messages among friends across SMCPS. We started with messages as simple as, "How do we get to that screen?" or "What does that button do again?" At that moment, I remember feeling wildly overwhelmed and at ease because I knew I had a family of educators in this county who had supported me when I was vulnerable in the past. I knew we would support and learn from each other once again. From Ridge to Dent and every school in between, we banded together, worked as a team, and got it done. We learned a new way to teach and countless new resources within a matter of weeks, and we became better teachers because of it. Our success last year in our virtual and hybrid classrooms was possible because of our willingness to seek guidance from our school system family. My final core memory that I would like to share with you tonight was a summer 2021 moment when I received an email informing me that I would be hosting a student teacher. My initial thought, as you may assume by now, was that I would fail her miserably. After a moment of reflection and asking myself if I was even qualified to host a student teacher, I told myself to relax, as I knew the experiences that I've had throughout my career had helped prepare me to guide her through the ins and outs of what it takes to help children engage, learn, and grow. Hosting her in my classroom this fall allowed me to provide the same collaboration, teamwork, and feedback that have helped me these past 12 years. The greatest gift that we can give to the new teachers entering this county is our support. We would not be in this room tonight receiving these honors if it were not for the guidance of those before us. I am so incredibly humbled to have been chosen as the Washington Post Teacher of the Year for St. Mary's County. My sincerest gratitude to Dr. Smith, Dr. Montgomery, Dr. Marr, and the Board of Education. I also thank my entire family at Mechanicsville Elementary School for their support and expertise and for allowing me to collaborate with them so freely over these years. In closing, we can and we must all learn from each other. I know I would not be on this stage tonight if it were not for the support of my fellow educators. Now, I'm not sure that I entirely agree with this last part, but according to my husband, without his feedback, I would be booed off the stage tonight, instead of this gracious round of applause that you're giving me now.
Great educator says, this button does what? Scott says, this button did what? After the fact,
That's,
those important that you know.
yes, absolutely. And thank you, Ms. Simone. That was really fantastic. Now we will recognize our high school and our central office nominees. So we will begin with Chopticon. Their outstanding educator is Mr. Ray Sapp. His administrator writes that Mr. Sapp understands students are more successful if they are actively involved in their school and community where meaningful and engaging activities are available to help them gain lifelong skills. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Ms. Lynn Molin, also a finalist. Her administrator says of Ms. Molin that she has dedicated her life to Chopticon High School. She knows the history, she knows the policies and procedures, she knows the school culture and climate, and most importantly, she knows and loves the staff and students at Chopticon. They have a SMECO Outstanding Science Teacher of the Year, Clarissa Labor. Her principal wrote, Ms. Labor is a very skilled teacher. When doing walkthroughs of classrooms, the first thing I look for is student engagement. When I walk through Ms. Labor's classroom, I always see meaningful engagement. And not just students engage with their laptops, but doing labs, moving around the classroom, and enjoying learning science. Congratulations to Chopticon staff. From Great Mills High School, their outstanding educator is Brittany Kirker. Her principal commented that she has the ability to make meaningful connections with her students, fostering a sense of cooperation and collaboration based on mutual respect and understanding. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Robert Young. His principal wrote, he's a professional, proficient, and dedicated individual who strives each day to meet the demanding needs of the building. He is well respected by the Great Mills High School community as someone who is honest, hardworking, and caring. They also have a SMECO Math and Science STEM Teacher of the Year. Their Math Teacher of the Year is Matthew Taggart. Matt's colleague wrote that what Mr. Taggart is doing while he's teaching his students, it makes them active. He's walking around the room to give constant feedback, pump students up if they need it, and asking all the right questions to ensure students understand math deeply. And their SMECO STEM Teacher of the Year, Jamie Knobloch. A former student wrote, when she taught my class during freshman year, Ms. Knobloch was excellent. She was constantly supportive of all her students, yet didn't coddle us. She always expected us to put forth our best effort and present our highest work. Congratulations to the staff at Great Mills. From Leonardtown High School, their outstanding educator is Melissa Kiernan, who you'll hear from in just a few minutes. She was also a finalist. In nominating her, her team said Ms. Kiernan's most special trait is her ability to demonstrate her interest in her students. Being accepting of everyone allows for honest feedback that students need to be successful in achieving the goals they set. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Larry Mills, Jr. In nominating him, an administrator wrote, Mr. Mills is a fun person to work with. He has a great sense of humor and can always find a way to make light of difficult situations. Congratulations to Leonardtown staff. From the Fairlead Academy, their outstanding educator is Stephanie Potts, also a finalist. Her teammates shared Miss Potts has a natural talent for teaching and mentoring both students and fellow educators alike, striving for excellence, modeling respect, and a love of learning. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Charity Ryan. A teacher Charity supports says Miss Ryan is an important pillar of our team at Fairlead. The students and staff alike adore her bubbly personality and admire the effort she puts forth to ensure that people in the building feel supported. Congratulations to Fairlead staff. From the Dr. James A. Forrest Career and Technology Center, their outstanding educator is Mary Thompson. Ms. Thompson's colleague wrote of her, "One must simply walk into her lab to see students heavily engaged in activities that teach them not only necessary skills for the in-demand IT profession, but also the skills of teamwork, communication, and professionalism." Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Colin McDaniel, a finalist. His principal says Colin never accepts excuses, and he shows a high level of determination and tenacity when working to support our students. Because of Colin's hard work and effort, students with special needs experience a high rate of success at the Forrest Center. Congratulations to Forrest Center staff. And from the Virtual Academy, their outstanding educator is Andrea DeLude. A colleague she mentors shares that Ms. DeLude is motivating and empowering to be around and observe. She gives me confirmation that I can always be learning and always grow to be an awesome and effective teacher like her. Their Education Support Professional of the Year is Marianne Tomasic. Her administrative team says Ms. Tomasic spends extra time before and after work learning new skills like 10th grade math so she can effectively teach it. She is one committed person. Congratulations to Virtual Academy staff. And from our central office, a leader of excellence nominated is Lisa Bachner, the Director of Curriculum and Instruction. A supervisor in her department says that one of the greatest indications of an exceptional leader is the ability to develop and strengthen the leadership skills of those around you. She understands that it takes a team of leaders at all levels to impact change and has the skills to encourage and inspire that leadership. The Education Support Professional of the Year is Angela Berry, also a finalist. In nominating Angela, her supervisor said, "Our Department of Safety and Security has received many written comments, letters, and emails providing positive feedback on Angela's support and work ethic. She always maintains the highest level of professionalism when carrying out her duties and responsibilities." From the central office in the Division of Supporting Services, their educational support professional is Courtney Lacey. Her supervisor said that Courtney's energy is remarkable. She always finds time to help others, to share new information she has learned, to go way beyond her assigned duties, and is always looking for a better work order process for all. Congratulations to Central Office nominees. Now, our final speaker for this evening is our nominee for the Maryland Teacher of the Year, Miss Melissa Kiernan. Miss Kiernan is a special education teacher at Leonardtown High School, and let's get to know her through this short video introduction.
I apologize. I haven't seen some of those words, so it's hard to take in. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Smith, Dr. Marr, Dr. Montgomery, and the Board of Education members. I am humbled by the honor of being named SMCPS's Teacher of the Year. After 19 years in this county, I have built relationships with not only the people in this room, but with many across the school system and community. There are so many esteemed teachers, school staff, support staff, administrators, parents, guardians, community leaders, and of course students, whom I get the opportunity to work with, collaborate with, and learn from in this county each and every day. These relationships have become part of my professional and my personal family. As an English and special education teacher, I have also come to define and teach denotations and connotations of many words, and not just those on MIMBY. One of those familiar words is family. I am very thankful for my family who is here with me tonight and continues to encourage my successes and listen as I work through my needs to try again. My husband has shown patience when I have stayed late to catch up on paperwork that just can't be done during the day because learning takes priority. My kids have shown me love and made me laugh when my need to try agains continued to need refining. Without their support, I would not be the teacher you see before you. Another family includes the teachers, staff, administrators, and families at Leonardtown High School who have pushed me to develop professionally. 19 years ago at LHS, I walked into an interview for an English position and met my first professional dad, Dr. Smith. He gave me advice about how to make connections and build relationships with students while teaching Shakespeare's The Tragedy of Macbeth. I would never imagine that I would be standing here having lessons go from chalkboards and overhead projectors to dry erase boards to smart boards, developing lessons for Moodle, to Google Classroom, and now Schoology. As we, as school, as a county, and as a community, learn how to take what we knew as a normal classroom and extend it to our community's physical homes. These connections our staff made to work together to learn, share, and create lessons have helped create relationships that continue to develop. My family extends to all the students and families that have been a part of my journey. Some of these people are in this room as well as I watch them walk across the stage. I became a teacher because every day would be slightly different, and of course, for summers off. I have found that every day is not just different, but every minute of every day looks different than the last. My students and families have impacted and continue to impact me on a daily basis. Even through a pandemic, Google Meets and Zoom led me to expand relationships with families of Leonardtown High School and to be part of their families. They have taught me new technologies, how to be flexible and patient, and how to persevere through challenges, along with a few fun TikTok dances. I have built relationships with these young men and women and their families, and that make them part of my extended family. My family has grown from the first 150 juniors I had 19 years ago to new families and lives as they become our next generation of teachers. Thank you again for this honor, as everyone here has had some part in why I stand here today as part of my SMCPS family.
Thank you, Ms. Kiernan. And in closing, Dr. Smith will offer his congratulations.
All right. So we're on the last page of the binder, which is good. The power of an evening like this is all of us coming together, and particularly to bring our loved ones with us, our children, our spouses, our editors, our audience. Every single day, the work that goes on in the school needs to have support from those outside of the school. And so, round of applause for everybody who is with a recognized person tonight. Thank you so much. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. that's quite a name, said, "In the realm of ideas, everything depends on enthusiasm. In the real world, all rests on perseverance." Everyone in the auditorium knows that's true. We have a host of great ideas, and we may have enthusiasm for many of them, but it's perseverance that drives them forward and builds success. Marianne Rodmacher says it a little differently. She says, "Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day that says, 'I will try again tomorrow.'" Quiet perseverance, the solid courage to continue, these are cornerstones of leadership in St. Mary's County Public Schools. And all of those gathered and recognized tonight, you are all leaders. Please know that others look to you for how you will support, engage, encourage others. You truly are leaders. A round of applause for all those who are recognized. You have all persevered, often in the face of seemingly insurmountable and innumerable problems. You've gotten us all through the last 2 years, and so congratulations on being recognized for your excellence among a sea of excellence. Congratulations for being part of, many people referenced, the family of St. Mary's County Public Schools. We are stronger and better every single day because of you. So thank you very much for inspirational words tonight. May you please have a lovely evening. There are only 12 days left with seniors at the high schools. Yay for that. And how many days are left with children till the end of the school year? Does anybody know that number? 30. Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations, and thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Marr, especially for putting on this wonderful evening. And Miss Beverly Dahlstrom, thank you so much for helping us keep us all straight. Thank you very much.